Welcome to Being Humankind with your hosts Brian, Mike, and Neely. We explore what it means to be human in a time of disconnection.
What would you need to conquer your biggest fear?
A diagnosis.
Silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going to doctors for a long time to figure out what is going on with like a abdominal region, and nothing. In fact, I just got back from the Mayo Clinic, and I got nothing.
Something pretty recent.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't go off like I thought. I was kind of thinking he'd say like spiders, something like that. But
Well, what's
okay.
the underlying issue though is a diagnosis would provide me with like a knowledge that whatever this is, I won't actually die from. Because I have a lot of anxiety, which is driven by the unknown.
Well, I think that would be pretty common with about anybody, right? Like even as something as simple as like waiting for a COVID test come back, like that anxiety of, you know, and you don't know when it's going to come back because they advertise, well, it could be 3 days, it could be 3 weeks. We don't know, you know.
And and how there's a false positive rate as well. So
Which is
Yeah,
also
there's tons of fear in the unknown.
I think it's interesting that, we're similar in the fact that I think one of the things we always try to figure everything out, right? It's almost like is that fear almost like not being able to figure something out? Like sometimes like I can't outsmart this thing. I can't figure it out on my own. Like I need something outside myself.
yeah, and I think oddly enough, after I speak to a doctor, I have this buffer period that I'm fine because I just heard them tell me what they think, although they don't have a diagnosis. And so I'm cool for like 6 months. And then I'm like back in an emergency room somewhere.
Because you feel it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't pull myself out. Like the famous, a lot of mindful folks will say, get out of your head, right? But I just live there. I think a lot of people live there.
So it's like a cycle. You're fine for a bit and then it kind of starts again and
Yep.
you feel the feeling and then the thoughts start and then you're like, oh my God, no, they must have been wrong and something must.
That's exactly right. And then what ends up happening is a general conscious uneasing of mind turns into an almost irreversible biological response of flight or fight. So then I produce chemicals and then I get literally the shakes and I can't stop. Then I have to go to the emergency room to get shot up with something.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is this kind of a new experience for you or like this unknown thing?
No, I've been dealing with a particular issue since I was 26. I'm 39 now.
So you've been going on that cycle about every 6 months for over a decade.
Yep. Yep. It's a lot of times you beat it, you could beat it back, which is why, a lot of my friends know that I practice tons of meditation, probably more than an hour a day. And then do a lot of reading. I'm always busy because there's a fear that if I'm not busy, I'm paying attention.
When you're paying attention, what happens?
Or you get trapped in my head, right? I'm thinking, I have a hypersensitivity to my body. So like when you hear about people who go to the famous room in Minnesota where they can hear their own heartbeat, and it's like a quiet room, like nobody lasts more than 2 minutes. I can hear my heartbeat all the time. And so I can feel every bit of any kind of muscular feeling in my body. So if I'm just laying down, I can feel my heartbeat. I can feel my stomach contract. I can feel all of my intestines, no matter where they are. So it's really bizarre. It's like hyper awareness. The procedure that they pitched to me recently was tell them where, and then they would inject me with lidocaine and a steroid. So no, I'm good.
Sounds yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for that.